Hey, what's up everyone? Thank you so much for liking my last video and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Today in this video, I'm going to show you what things I've been doing in the background to make this channel work. At some point, maybe this will be useful for you if you're planning to launch your own channel. So I thought, yeah, let's document it. Let me show you the whiteboard. Right, so the first thing I think, which is very important, is to understand why you want to do YouTube. For me personally, it's more about giving back to the community and sharing my ideas, sharing some of the stuff which we've been doing in our agency and also our SaaS. So for me personally, I want to connect to three groups of people, which basically includes entrepreneurs, business owners, marketers, and tech enthusiasts, because they all kind of relate to the topics which I want to share. And in my first video, I mentioned I'm going to be talking about landing pages, marketing automation, and SaaS tools. So that kind of works well with these three group of people. And in order to launch a channel, obviously you have to keep adding videos, but there has to be a proper plan and a kind of strategy and a vision of like where you want to go. So I won't talk about the strategy and the vision today, but I will talk about some of the stuff which I had to do to set this up. So although you don't see it right now, but in the background, I'm working on defining obviously the name of the channel, which I've chosen to be my name, although I could have chosen to be my agency name, but I felt it will be better if I choose my name, because that way I can talk about different topics and I'm not limited to sharing just the agency business. So that was the first thing which I did, which was selecting my name. And I've got actually a funny story, because I decided to use waseembashir.com, but then I found somebody had already registered waseembashir.com, and I had to actually go back to him and purchase the domain back from him, which actually went okay, because eventually I got it. So that's probably a lesson there, that if you have a name which you can't find, you can actually reach out to people and give them an offer, which probably they can't refuse. The second thing which I've been doing is working on my branding. I've been working with a logo designer who's designed the logo and some of the typography and the fonts and colors, which you will see in the next few videos when I upload them. The other thing which we are currently working on is recording like the intro for the whole series. Obviously, I've done the first video which you saw last time from my phone, and this is the second one. In order to do like the proper videos which I want to continue doing, I have to have an intro, a lower third, which are these images or like assets or animated things which appear on the screen, and have like some kind of background score. And all of these things are, although they're very simple, but they take time, because you have to like decide from quite a few area of choices and different things. So yeah, that's where I am currently. And in order to set up the studio, which this is where I'm recording my videos, the first thing which I'm sorting out is the lighting. And although in this room it's quite well lit, there are some obviously ceiling lightings, like normal lighting which you see, but this is not really good for photography, because eventually you want you to be in focus, and the rest of the background should be kind of not in focus, so that needs to be blurred out. And in order to achieve that, you need to have some key light and some fill light, and also some kind of rim light. I haven't gone that far to define all these three lighting angles, but that's the aim, to get those sorted out. So I'm going to show you how my lighting looks right now without any kind of accessories, and then you can decide which one you prefer. Okay, so this is how it looks right now. This is any other external lighting. This is the normal ceiling lighting, and I'm placed at my desk. This is where I'll be recording my videos. I'm currently using an iPhone 12, and I'm not using any external microphone. This is the internal microphone which is recording my sound or my voice. So let's fix this. Let's fix this one at a time. Let's get some external lighting so that this can be improved. Let's do that. Right, I've turned off the main light of the room. I've got some practicals which is this lighting in the background, but I don't have any key light or fill light on me. So let's sort that out. Let's get a fill light to fix me from, I mean, usually it's like set at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to do that by switching that on. Let's do that. Right, as you can see, I've turned the key light on my face now, but half of my face has a shadow, which we can fix. But at least you can see now I'm in focus, and the rest of the room has got a dark background, which kind of differentiates me from, or takes me out of the view, so that I'm kind of more in focus. Let's get the fill light to work. So here we are. So I have the main key light and the fill light both focusing on me, and I can see this light now in the background as well, but it's not as bright as I am. But as you can tell, I don't have a blurred background because I'm recording on iPhone 12, and my microphone is currently still the iPhone 12, so I'm not using an external microphone. We'll fix that at the next step. But there's one more light which usually videographers add, which is known as a rim light, which basically will be throwing some light on my back, and that way it will still kind of continue to remove me from the background. So it's kind of me putting me in more focus in a way. Let's try that. Okay, so now the rim light is on. You can see there's like a little bit of glow, which is again separating the subject from the background. All these terms I've actually learned by watching a lot of YouTube videos. So I'm not an expert myself. I've actually learned this recently in order to do YouTube. With this setup, so the lighting is kind of okay now. The next step is to define your audio, or like use a proper system. There's two ways I'm sorting that out. One is by using a dedicated microphone, a USB microphone. I'm using like a blue Yeti here, and this microphone is connected directly to my laptop through a USB port. That way I'm very close to the microphone, and I can show you how that will sound in a minute when we switch over to the camera. This will be the microphone which I'm going to use to record all the sessions. There's a lot of information on different microphones and different kind of audio gear which you can use. I like this one because it's very simple. It kind of has a USB cable which keeps things very simple. Otherwise you have to get an XLR thing, and yeah, it's very complicated. For now, what I'm doing, I think this works. The next thing which I want to talk about is the camera setup, because right now I'm recording from an iPhone. Although it's good, but it's not really that great. I have a Canon M50 and Canon M200 placed in front of me in different angles, and they then are connected to an ATM mini switcher. An ATM mini switcher, I mean, you don't need to obviously have all this setup. I like it because I think it will just make the content more engaging. As a base start, you can just get a simple SLR camera. I've got Canon M50, which is basically Canon's base camera for mirrorless technology. And I've got a 1.6 lens, which also works pretty well with the Canon M50. So I'm going to switch over to the camera now and use this ATM mini microphone. Let's see how that looks. Right, so this is the final piece of the puzzle. So I've got my Canon M50 connected to the source input 1 on the ATM, and I've got Canon M200 on source 2 of ATM mini. So if I press number 2 here, I switch to this view, which is the M200, and if I switch back to Canon M50, which is on source 1, I can flip between two angles. So that way it gives me the freedom of like explaining something on the screen using this view. While I'm doing something, I can explain, whereas that view is more of like when I'm doing a talking head video. So hopefully you understand probably the madness to this, and maybe see some value in this madness. I will be recording videos using this setup, so please let me know if you think I need to change something, or if you think something can be improved. I'm more than happy to hear your comments. So I'm recording from a Canon DSLR camera, which is feeding into OBS directly as a webcam output. The cool thing about Canon DSLRs at the moment is you can get a webcam utility which converts the DSLR feed through a USB cable straight inside OBS, and that way OBS detects it as a webcam, and you can record it just like any other input using ATM microphone, which is also going into OBS. So there's currently two feeds. One is the camera feed and the other one is the ATM microphone. So this is good enough. I mean, we can effectively just stop here and we can just record videos. But I mean, I'm taking this a slightly upper level by improving the quality of the content which I'm going to produce by using another camera. And in order to switch between this main camera and the side camera, I'm going to use Atem switcher. Atem switcher is a device which allows me to change cameras on the fly without having to worry about software. So it's kind of hardware buttons which I'm pressing to switch different angles. So let's switch to that and I can show you exactly how that works. So this is how the entire setup works. I have Atem Mini here, which has quite a few sources. One of them is camera 1, which is Canon M50 over there. And the camera 2 source is Canon M200, which is currently here. So if you see on my Atem Mini, if I press 2, it will then switch over the camera to 2. And if I switch over to 1, which is by pressing this button 1, it will then switch over to this camera feed here. I can also share my screen from my iMac, which I haven't currently set up, but I can do that by linking this HDMI cable to the DVI port on the iMac. And I can probably connect on one more source, which I haven't done yet. So this is where I do the switching, and it's quite powerful because it outputs out everything as a USB-C port, which is coming out from here into the USB port, which kind of overall detects it as a camera. So I hope that helps. I hope you found this video useful. I'll be obviously sharing more of my journey of how I'm building my YouTube channel. I look forward to hearing your comments, what you think about the whole setup. And if you have any questions about if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, please feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to have a call with you on Zoom or Skype. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In case you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe below by clicking the red button. That will make sure that you will see me next time when I upload my next video. Thank you so much.